One thing I've been doing to help get better intellectual control over my code bases is to generate HTML files. And inside those HTML files, I ask my agents to generate mermaid diagrams that explain all the different subsystems and the overall architecture of my application so that I can read through this and understand what's going on at a high level. And I recommend doing this approach as well. Now, the cool thing about what I did here is I want to kind of talk about these videos. I told my agent to generate a bunch of videos that explain the different subsystems. And I used an 11 lab key for the voiceover. I used OpenAI to generate the script. And then I used Remotion to actually put the video together. We can kind of play through one of these videos. I do need to tweak them because they're not very educational or engaging. They feel kind of bland. But overall, I do think this is a solution you can take to help train yourself and maybe even your team to have educational videos walk you through your code if you are just letting the agents build it all out for you. So let's look at a quick video example of the swarm coordination. I'm going to let this play through and we can kind of just see how it kind of works.
Swarm coordination enables multiple agents to work together seamlessly using a shared swarm ID. The system seeds work items into a ledger that tracks progress and assignments.
So as you can tell, it's not really that great of a video. I think I need to go back to mission control and actually prompt it to do a little bit better of a video here. So I just wanted to kind of show you that you can use Remotion to help teach you how certain things work in this application. Let's go back to the visualize system components mermaid diagram. This is where I kind of talked about this. Can you make sure that the videos that are generated have interactive graphs with animations? Right now, it's just a list of bullet points, which is not very engaging and not a great way to learn how the architecture is working. Try to reuse some of the mermaid diagrams and have the components animate in as they are being talked about. Let's focus in on just regenerating one of the videos, and then let me know which video you fixed after you've done it. So let's take a look at how I generated the HTML diagram. First of all, it has all the mermaid diagrams in it. It's a very simple prompt, and just learning about this technique can help you along the way with all your agentic coding. So I did a loop, which basically tells cursor CLI to just keep on running until it's all done. You can use a /goal in Codex or a /goal in Claude Code. But basically, I mentioned continue to build out a huge mermaid diagram and render in HTML until you get all of the main components of the system visualized for when a job is ran, a schedule, a swarm, a GitHub trigger, secrets, etc. Open the HTML. Okay, so when I run this, that is when it went through and it generated all of these different sections. So we have these different sections. It walks through how the components all tie together, how they all kind of work. And I would recommend spending a couple of hours or days just like understanding how the system that you're building out works. Again, maybe I'm just old school. I've been coding for like 13 years professionally, and I do think understanding how the code works is important, especially as your system gets more complex and larger, because you don't want edge cases to basically break in production or cause security issues. So knowing how it's all tied together is very important. Now, after I made the HTML page, the next part of making the videos is, of course, using Remotion. I just used a loop and I said, now use Remotion to create and use 11 Labs to create multiple overview videos that explains how this all works. Use animations to help explain the concepts, render the videos and embed them in the HTML. Use OpenAI for the script. Now you can give it a .env file and put in that file an 11 Labs key, an OpenAI key, and it's able to basically generate those videos like I showed you. So with that refactoring I just did, I told it to kind of improve the videos. Let's go to the system overview. It looks like that's been finished, so we can go back over here. Just do a refresh, system overview. We can rewatch this one and see if it added in some good animations.
Agent platform. Jobs can start from multiple sources: scheduled timers, GitHub event triggers, or manual swarms. All these inputs converge at admit run, the gateway that validates and queues work. From there, the job enters an SQS FIFO launcher queue, ensuring strict order and no duplicates.
Okay, so this one is much better. Now, I would probably even recommend prompting this one more time because I don't think that the voiceover even matches the animations much. And I would like it to go into more detail in depth onto like all these different things, because right now it's only a 43-second video. I don't find that very useful. So I'm going to go back and prompt that one more time. This is a good change to the video, but I would like more detail for every single part of the video. The video is too short. It doesn't explain the system enough. Right now, you just give a quick overview. I actually want like an in-depth analysis of how it kind of works, so a software engineer can really understand how the system works and what the different components actually do. Okay, so I'm going to kick that one off one more time. And again, I'm using Grok 4.5. If you use Fable, it's going to produce a much better video. But I do think I'm at my Fable max for today. I have to wait like 2 days for that to get renewed. But the better the model you're using, the better the animations are going to be, the better the coordination between 11 Labs and the video are going to be. You could probably even prompt this to use 11 Labs to get timestamps of when the voiceover is being talked, and that can sync it up a little bit better. So that's going to be something we add in again. All right, so now it looks like the overview video is done. We can watch through this real quick. I'm not going to watch through the whole 5 minutes, but let's just do a quick little scan through and see what exactly it did that's different.
Jobs, AWS Event Bridge triggers a scheduler Lambda. The scheduler leases due schedules, ensuring that its GitHub type applies filters of token to see how many runs are currently active. Our counter is Q.
Okay, so this is definitely better. You can see that at the bottom, it's kind of going through, giving an overview of what the purpose of the FIFO queue is, what the purpose of the scheduler, the emit run function is, and it just gives more detail as to like the different components.
When a
even
run
at the
becomes
top, it's giving you an overview of like what it's talking about. So you can do the exact same approach. I'm gonna go ahead and just run this and say, hey, this is great. Now, can you do that to all the other videos? I want the in-depth, longer videos for every single one. And I'm going to give it a loop. I'm going to give it a loop so it just keeps on doing this until it's done. Don't stop until you finish all the other videos. All right, so hopefully that was useful for you all. I think using Remotion to help generate crafted videos for you to understand your own code base could be a very viable option. So I hope you guys enjoy or try it yourself. Have a good day and happy prompting.